Happy Friday night, everyone. How is everyone doing? Thank you all so much for coming. I have got a very interesting episode today. So I have no experience with Canadian whiskey, none. And I have a very special guest today who knows a little bit about Canadian whiskey. He actually lives in Canada, so that helps a little bit. So I have Jeff from the Whisky Explorer here today. Jeff, jump on.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Broadcasting you guys from Victoria, BC, Canada. So we'll give you guys, we'll try to get, we'll drink some of the standard Canadian fare, which is where we get our horrible reputation from, which is where that's the stuff that you guys see on the shelves there in the States. And then we'll also get Chris some samples there, or I sent him some samples that will be of quite a bit of different quality, different echelon of whiskey, so to speak. And that, I think, will give you guys a good idea of what Canadian distillers are now trying to get up to and what some of their capabilities are anyway. So
yeah, I think it's going to be a good night. So like I said, I have no experience with Canadian. I have the two bottles I've had back here, which is Crown Royal and Canadian Club. I have had for I don't know how many years. The Crown Royal is still sealed. Canadian Club, it's got to be a near 5-year-old bottle. I mean, honestly. So I don't know. I tried to drink it straight one time, and it was rough. Like I nearly spit it out. Honestly, that's how bad it was.
Yeah, for sure. And so it turns out I thought that Chris might have a different one than I have, but it turns out it's the same. So if you kind of give a closer look at that label there, it's the and I've got a light here that's kind of casting a bit of a shine there, but it's the same bottle there. Yeah. One. And so this bottle is kind of synonymous with bottom shelf Canadian whiskey. It really is. When people think of Canadian whiskey, this Canadian Club, the standard Canadian Club, which I didn't even want to get a full bottle of because I honestly never drink it. I wanted to get a little sample size, but that's the smallest I could find. That is, I think, what people, especially in the States, think of when they are thinking about Canadian whiskey. Either that or Crown. Crown Royal seems to be something that can readily get your hands on there. And it's funny because I remember when I was growing up, it was like in my 19's drinking age here, so kind of 19, early 20s. If you were like, oh, you're getting the Crown Royal, oh, so fancy, like so smooth, right? In reality, it's a $5 or $6 difference a bottle, and again, still not great. But for us, anyways, and drinking the most of those like bottom shelf Canadian ones, people aren't drinking them straight here. It's for a mixer,
right?
I'd like to say no one buys this bottle, but when I was in the liquor store, the guy ahead of me in the lineup picked up a 1.75 liter of this, and I was just like, oh, that's a lot of Canadian Club to drink. But I think the people that kind of grew up on it, or that it's kind of a staple in their bar, they have it around. So.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I've had this bottle for like 5 years. So when I bought it as a mixer, and this is this is a liter bottle, and there's only that much gone of it.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm an open mind.
Do you want to crack that now, Chris? Do you want to try?
Yeah, I guess. I'll let you pick the order of stuff. So we kind of talked about before the stream what we have. I went out and actually picked up a couple samples today too, just of some really bottom shelf stuff, I guess, for the most part. I got a sample bottle of the Canadian Mist,
and that's hilarious because that's going to be just tragic. That's going to be. I already know how bad that's probably going to make the Canadian Club taste good.
Maybe even worse than the Canadian Club.
I'm pretty sure. I'm confident that it is. Yeah.
Oh boy! All right.
I
got the R&R too. R&R.
Yeah. The Royal Reserve. That's Canadian, hey?
Canadian whiskey, a blend.
Would be pretty bad too. Yeah, and so should we just start with that, Chris, and crack that and see what you think?
Let's go into it.
Okay, so
all right,
I'm corking here for you guys. Fancy a twist top there. There we go. That's a little mini Mickey here. We have these like even smaller. I think you guys actually have them in the States too. This one's like 200 milliliter. So it's not smelling good. Let's be honest.
No. Ugh. Yay.
Okay, so and a couple of the other whiskey tubers out there, especially a couple of Canadian guys that are actually, there's a couple guys. Chris, have you ever seen Trenny and C?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah, so they're Canadian guys. They're actually from my neck of the woods here. They'll point out things like, or not them actually. I think it was the Whiskey Vault. I can't remember exactly where I saw it, but there are no, when it comes to Canadian whiskey, there aren't many rules. Like not like a bourbon. Like bourbon has a fairly stringent. Okay, so no can't be colored. Has to be in new oak. So some rules surrounding that, right? For Canada, for it to be whiskey, it has to be at least 40%, and then it has to be aged for 3 years. But after that, that's why you can have, like, you know, Crown Royal, for example, they have so many different flavored whiskeys. That's like, you're allowed to flavor whiskey and you're allowed to color whiskey. So I can tell just looking at this, that's for sure. Like, I'll just hold it a bit closer for you guys. Like dark, pretty dark, kind of caramel. Dark.
It is, yeah. I was actually just going to say that to you. So this is pretty dark for what I was expecting to be young and only 40 proof, or for 40% alcohol, you know?
Yeah. And it's probably not much more than those 3 years old, right? It's and then this one is going to be, I would say, it's funny what they say on here, because they say aged in American oak barrels, Canadian Club original 1858 is an exceptionally smooth whiskey, offering hints of vanilla with a clean finish and a subtle sweet oak aroma. We'll see about that.
Finish, huh?
So it's most whiskey is going to be rye whiskey. The majority, there's a lot of Canadian products out there that are exclusively like 100% rye. So the base on most whiskeys in Canada is rye whiskey. Especially people that are really into, like, one of the brands people tend to like hear quite a bit is like Alberta Premium. So it's like Alberta Premium, and then they have Dark Horse, which is a little bit more of their like a nicer blend that they have. Those are going to be high rye content spirits, whiskey.
And I was going to ask you that too, because I have a neighbor who's Canadian, or from, you know, he was from Canada, and he always says, because I was talking to him about the, you know, the channel and all the bourbon and everything, and he says, I'm a big rye whiskey guy, and I was like, oh, rye whiskey, like, you know, like, what do you like, Sazerac rye, Rittenhouse rye? And he's like, no, just like Canadian whiskey. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was mostly rye. You know, I didn't really know anything about Canadian whiskey, so.
Yeah.
But he just described it as rye, like he just described it as rye whiskey. I didn't know if that was just a common thing or not. So.
Yeah, exactly. So like, even like my boss at work, I was talking to him about whiskey, and he's like, are you a rye guy? I'm like, not really. And he's like, oh, you got it. Like, let me tell you about a few different Canadian ryes to try. So he's like, that's his go-to. So I think people, again, like, here that kind of grew up drinking it, or that, you know, that's sort of what we have on offer. Like, that's what the whiskey is. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go into the nose on this. We have to at some point.
Yeah. So once you get past the nail polish remover.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just astringent, very astringent.
Yes. I do smell that sweet oak they're talking about.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of oak in there. It's definitely not overpowering though. It's I mean, you really have to search behind the alcohol.
And I get kind of like some toffee and caramel, maybe a little bit of maple syrup, which is a very, very common Canadian whiskey note. The maple syrup, anyways. Not a whole lot else going on there. There's not much depth.
No. Yeah, it's kind of everything's very muted, I guess I would say.
Yeah, and it's whatever there is there, I'm finding is riding right on the surface of the whiskey. There's no, I don't pick up any, like, you know, when you get like a really nice, because you're like really big into the bourbons and a bourbon guy. You know, when you get like a really, really complex bourbon, and you can kind of almost smell the different layers. Like you can go a little bit deeper into those and pull things out. I'm finding anyways, can't pull much from this. It's one dimension for sure. Yeah. Kind of oaky, but like the overpowering thing, every time I go back into the nose, it's like nail polish remover.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is like smelling paint thinner. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I get why this is for mixing, not for drinking straight. But let's I guess let's give it a sip here anyway.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cheers, buddy. Cheers, guys. Happy Friday night.
Cheers.
Mm. Woo! It's
Oh, that's so much worse than I remember.
Yep. It's yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
I don't know that I would. I don't think I'm gonna finish that glass.
Whew.
It's just very.
Holy,
I mean,
that is
everything everything on that nose is just the same with the astringency. It's so nail polish. It's just nail polish.
Oh my gosh, that is embarrassingly bad. Yeah.
You know when you drink a whiskey or smell a whiskey and it gives you chills down your spine.
Oh, that's not good.
That's what this is. It's just ridiculous.
If you look at the legs on here, I don't know if it's picking up on the camera at all, but they are thick, like not thick, but slow, super slow moving.
Mm-hmm.
Which means it's pretty sweet. But
yeah,
I don't get anything really other than that alcohol, like than the nail polish remover. Nothing. It's so overpowering. It just dominates everything else.
Maybe on sip 2. Why don't you go ahead and take another sip and tell me if you get anything else on it? How about that?
Sip 2 here.
Because I don't know if I want to. Oh. So, nope.
Oh, it's fun.
So I had one sip of this, and I have what I'm going to officially term the Canadian hug at this point, at least. And it's just it's burning my chest, but it's not like a Kentucky hug where it's a nice burn. It's a like where your lungs start collapsing in on itself.
Oh no, that's terrible. It's bad.
That's what it is.
The only thing, so now I'm kind of experiencing the finish on the whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
The only note, and I'm pushing to even get to this. The only note that's there is like vanilla, almost like an icing sugar, but that's it. There's nothing really else there.
Yeah. And actually, I just took another sip, and it was not as bad as I was expecting. You know, it's still not good. Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not bad.
Yeah,
I just realized we really didn't say hi to chat or talk to chat in the beginning like we normally do. So let's do some scrolling up and see who we missed in here.
Oh yeah,
I was talking to a couple people over in Eric's chat earlier tonight, but we got Loch Ness in here, Peter White, DJ Beacon, Eric Gilbert, Most Chun, how you doing? Brandon Weiss, Dustin, DH Silv, Guy Davis is in here, Santa Cruz in. Got the whole gang tonight.
Nice. Did you mention Jason Coates?
Jason Coates is in here. Yep. Also Jason from the Mash and Drum.
Yeah.
And Matt from Whiskey Crusaders, another one who's got a very nice channel going.
Oh, and Eric Waite's in here now too.
Yes. Hello, Eric.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, I was putting the kids to bed, so I missed most of the stream, Eric. But I'll be watching the replay. Don't worry.
Oh, this
okay.
Is
so, like I said, second sip on this is not. It wasn't as off-putting as the first.
Yeah, I agree. I can't believe how much of it you're drinking.
I know. I feel bad leaving whiskey in the glass, but third sip wasn't as good as the second. Second's the sweet spot. 2 sips and then call
it. I think for me it got a little bit better on the third.
Really?
More like more mapley syrupy, but it's just not good. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's not
so
great at all.
I've heard that the like specifically the Canadian club that is produced or made in Canada, distributed in Canada, is different than what they put in the States. You know anything about that?
Oh, no, I don't. That's not what I understand or what I've heard. I think you guys are getting. Honestly, I think you'd be getting the same thing. I doubt they do anything different. Somebody did just say. I think it was his last name's Gilbert. I can't remember what his first name is offhand.
Eric Gilbert.
Yeah. He mentioned that the Canadian club is the bottles of Wisers like bottles of Wisers that they sell off to Canadian club, which is kind of interesting because Wisers is one of the distilleries that I would say, or is one of the only distilleries I would say that's pushing the envelope right now for Canadian whiskey. Other than local products, local distilleries are quite good for getting out some really good like craft products. But as far as the big ones go, Wiser's is the one that's kind of in their not. So I haven't really had too much of their main core line. So they've got got the regular offering, and then they've got a 15-year, then they have a 35-year as well, and then they have some other stuff as well, and then they've got a bunch of special releases. Like they've got a commemorative series, they've got some other series going on. Those ones always tend to be quite good. So and they also I should mention this because this is important. They are also responsible for, so it's Colby is kind of the Diageo of this Canadian brand, right? So they've got a bunch of different brands, but they're all basically made by Wiser's. And those ones are, some of the other big ones are Pike Creek and Lot 40. So Lot 40 and Pike Creek are both made by Wiser's. So those are kind of more premium Canadian whiskeys. So I guess for me, those are the ones that are kind of pushing the envelope and trying to do different things. So they've got, one of the products they've got it's called the Northern Border series. And they've got one in there that's a Pike Creek, and it's a 21-year-old, and it's a Speyside finished cask. So, so that's an interesting one. Again, those ones are getting up there in price. I think that one's about $90 Canadian. But for a 21-year-old whiskey, that's not too bad at all. So
yeah. And Peter White asked if I was scenting of the Northern Border collection. That's funny you just said that. And Wiser's Legacy Dissertation Red Letter 90/20 Lot 40 cask strength. I have not opened the sample pack that I was sent yet, so I'm excited. I don't know what's in it, but I have to say this is the most interesting description for what you had to do to get this to me. I've got to show everybody this.
Yeah.
So they brought me the package, and they're like, "Okay, here's your." See if you can see it. If it'll toy robot parts, used toy robot parts. That's the most interesting one I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
I've got to say.
That's actually a funny story. So I went in there without a plan at all, and the girl just like point blank was like, "What's in here?" And I was like, and literally nothing else came to my mind other than that. So I was like, robot part, and she's like. What? I was like, yeah, robot part. She's like, you mean like a toy robot? And I was like, I literally, my answer was sure, toy robot. Write that down. So that's that. I was surprised, A, that it got through, and B, that it was so quick. It was like 2 days,
like
3 days. Yeah, a day or two. Crazy. So, but that's good because it shows me that I can. Well, actually, we shouldn't really put this on the tube, but maybe there's chances that samples going back and forth. But
absolutely.
So the ones that who was mentioning? Peter White. He's got and he's got G&W 11 Souls is the one you want. Yeah, exactly. So that one's I can't remember how to pronounce it, but it's like it's Guggenheim and Warts. It's like the worst name for whiskey, but
yeah, it really is. Ugh.
Yeah, the 11 Souls Rye is supposed to be amazing. That's part of that Northern Borders collection. So a bunch of the ones that Peter mentioned are awesome, like the Wiser's Legacy and the Wiser's Dissertation I haven't had because they discontinued. So that's the thing with these Wiser's ones. If they do a special release, it's going to be around for a year and then it's gone. You will not find it again. I have had the Wiser's Union 52. That was the best Canadian whiskey I've ever had. It was phenomenal.
Wow.
But the one is it's a like decently old Canadian whiskey. I can't remember, maybe 15 years, something like that. But it has the 52, the Union 52 name is from, it has 4% of 52-year-old single malt Scotch from Scotland in it.
Wow.
So really, really interesting blend. And I know it sounds weird, but you can taste the 4%.
Yeah. I believe it. I mean, there's a little influence there, so I believe it.
Yeah, Union 52, Peter White says, yeah, absolutely. That's by far the best I've tasted.
Eric Waite says all of his toy robots are made from whiskey bottles.
That's right, exactly. There you go.
That's right. Christopher David, welcome in. Good to see you. All right, I want to go ahead and let's do the regular crown next. You think that's probably the next step?
Absolutely. That's the next step, right? And as I was mentioning, for those people that are kind of just joining us new, I bought a little mini bottle because, again, I honestly just didn't want it around. It's just not something that I would go to and drink. But this used to be like back in the day, a Crown and Coke used to be like a favorite of some, well, not a favorite, but you know, a drink that some of my friends would have, and it'd be like, oh, you went for the Crown Royal. Oh, well, you're fancy. It's like $5 extra for a bottle, but just the whole perception, I think, this is the one that I'm not sure if they're still doing this, but it used to come in like a purple velour velvet kind of bag. So, anyways,
yep,
we'll get into this.
I was getting ready to pop this off, and it's a twist.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a twist for sure.
Man, I will say they've got one of the best looking bottles in the game, though. That's for sure.
It's not a bad looking bottle. And I think that might be the perception of why it was better, is because it's got the fancy bottle.
Yeah. I always thought, I mean, like, of course, when I was really young, I was like, oh, Crown Royal, that's like the best whiskey you can get, you know? That's what I always thought, but
yeah.
I think everyone did, like you said, though.
Yeah, I think it was the perception, right? But
so,
again, I would be surprised to find out that this isn't dominantly rye whiskey. Again, 40% ABV, and that is what's unfortunate is the most of these bottom shelf whiskey, the Canadian ones anyways, they're going to be at that 40% mark too. So I feel like if there was more going on, that low ABV robs it of any potential to kind of get there, right?
I definitely noticed that even when I was just browsing the store for Canadian whiskey, I was like, man, all these are 80%. Anything better than that? Not what I can get, though. Not really.
The ones that you can get that'll be higher ABV are going to be those Wiser's Northern Border collection. That whole line is going to be probably in the, you know, like 43 to 46%, somewhere in there. Some of them, for sure, the lot 40 cask strength will be higher. Quite a bit. Right. But
so this already has a lot more on the nose than, I mean, Canadian Club did. I'll say that.
I think there's more here for sure. And what I do like about this one is that I'm not getting that overly harsh nail polish remover smell either.
Yeah, it's still there, but it's much more subtle.
Yeah,
I think. Peter White said, you have access in the U.S. for the Crown Royal 13-year blender's mash. That's very desirable in Canada. Oh, I did not know that was 13 years, though.
No, I didn't know it was either. I thought that we had that here, though. Peter, don't we have the Crown Royal, the Crown Royal blender's mash? Don't we have that one here? It used to be called Bourbon mash. They jumped the U.S. bourbon people jumped in and shut that one down.
Yeah, right. Yeah, had to be done. Sorry, Canada. Well, I mean, I like this better for sure. I like it better on the nose for sure. So I'll be interested to see if the taste is better.
Very similar notes though, like maple syrup, bit of oak, vanilla.
Yep. Still very muted though overall. I think probably the 80 proof doesn't help that, you know. Yeah. All right, let's give it a try.
Sounds good.
All right, cheers, buddy.
Definitely better.
Yeah, definitely better. I didn't cringe at that at all.
Considerably better. It's strange that it's that much better, but
it is. It's definitely a lot better for sure. Actually, a little bit of butteriness.
Yeah.
On this for some reason.
A little bit, maybe like a little bit, not like full, like there's no mouth coating, but maybe
no
oily feel.
It's really like when you take it, like there's a little bit of that buttery feeling just on the tongue, but nothing sticks to the mouth at all. That's kind of how it is.
Incredibly short finish on this one. Like it's there when you're drinking it, and almost then gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which maybe that's why it has that quote unquote smooth reputation, right?
Probably actually.
It's not lingering or spicy afterwards at all. There's there's a little bit of alcohol burn after, but not much anything else.
Which is very uncommon for rye whiskey in general, at least like the bourbon rye, you know, rye type whiskey. Very spicy in general, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely prefer this for sure.
Yeah, it's better.
I could actually drink this straight without suffering through a glass. So, all right, let's let me I'm gonna open the box now.
Okay, you're gonna do it.
What's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box? What's in the box?
All right.
When you did your other unboxing video and you had that as the thumbnail, I thought that was great. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't know if anyone would get it or not, so I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll just put it in. I know what it means.
Oh, totally.
It's funny. I was amazed you got it in such a small, tiny little like box too. I mean, you didn't have to put it in a huge thing or anything either, which is great.
Yeah, I bought those specifically for doing samples send-outs. I just went to this place my wife knew about that she gets some of her real estate stuff from, and then she used to get art supplies for a gallery she worked for. She knew this place, but what she told me was like, because I was going to buy a bunch of sample bottles at $2 a piece for just the bottle. She's like, no, go to the supply store. I got them for 81 cents each.
Oh,
which
wow.
is a lot better. I just cleaned them out. I took everything they had.
Yeah, heck yeah. Nice.
I'll buy these all because I'll use them. So,
all right, I've got 2 in here. Let's see what they are. Everyone in chat who knows Canadian whiskey can tell me.
Intact,
okay,
hopefully.
Oh wow, this is probably gonna be a really good one. So this is kind of one we talked about. JP Weiser, 19-year-old, 43.4 ABV, 2018 commemorative series.
Yeah,
19 years. Boy, oh boy. That will not focus, but
I got new labels, but that was before I got them, and I was in a hurry. So painter's tape. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
I think you'll like the
bottle by chance of these.
Do I have which? Yes.
The bottle.
Sorry, I should have held that up. There it is, right there. It's a really cool bottle, actually. This is going to become my infinity bottle when it's done.
Oh wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good looking bottle. I definitely recognize that one if I saw it. And the color on camera for you looks great. It's hard to tell in these sample bottles, but
yeah, I would guess, and it doesn't say anything about this, so I can't say for sure, but I would kind of guess this has color, unfortunately, but yeah, what can you do, I guess. 19
years though. I mean, it's gonna get some color from that, I hope.
Oh, nice. Richie Z just dropped in.
Yep,
hey, Richie.
Welcome in, Richie. Thanks for coming. All right, so let's see what the second one is.
Yeah. We go from exciting to more exciting.
Yeah, is that possible? Yeah. Lot 40 cast strength, baby. This is one I cannot find anywhere. Yeah. And 11 years, 2018 edition. Oh yeah, 58.4%. Now we are talking my language. Yeah. And I think when we taste that one, then you're going to get that rye punch. You're going to get the true flavors coming through, because these other ones we've been tasting, they're just bottled too low. So like if you were going to get that rye spice, you're probably not going to find it at 40%. Right. It's just, so I think that one will be really good. Yeah. Well, the other one's 43.4, but I mean, the age is so much higher than any of the other bottles, we've tried. So I imagine that's going to be a big difference too. Yeah. So for sure. Now the other 2 samples I have now, I don't know anything about this. Maybe you can talk about this one a little bit. This is 40 Creek Barrel Select. Okay, so that one should be actually pretty good. I haven't had it, but I've been told good things about it. They also are another one where, like Weisers, they have a more premium. They have some more premium editions. That would just be their base product. Okay. So that would be their entry level. But then they've got bottles that are $60-$70 Canadian. They've got one called the Union, and they've got one called Confederation. So they've got different kind of special bottlings, but that one should actually be pretty decent. Okay. Nice. And the other one I have is Crown Royal Black too, which is just, I don't know the difference, but it's upped in proof to 90 proof, which is really nice. Right. And someone's at DJ Beacon is asking, is Black Velvet a Canadian whiskey? Sadly it is. Well, at least a Canadian brand. It's Drake's whiskey. And yeah, it's apparently not good, but I can't remember where it's sourced from. But apparently people were thinking, oh, it's a Virginia bourbon, like it's a bourbon made in Virginia. Apparently it's not at all. It's just a name. So that's kind of interesting too. I could have bought that today, but I've had black velvet and I don't want to experience that again.
No, good thing you did.
No. All right, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try the Crown Royal Black.
Perfect. Okay. If you're gonna try the.
Are you there?
2000.
Oh, Jeff's going in and out a little bit. At least on my screen. There you are. There you are, buddy.
So if you're gonna do the Crown Royal Black, then I'll do the Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye.
Oh, okay.
And this is Jim Murray's Whiskey of the World for 2018, and that's to quite a lot of like people who outcried like, "What's he talking about?" Which is typical of Jim Murray's scores, right? This one's rated way higher in his Whiskey Bible. I think it's a 93 or 94 out of 100, which is pretty crazy. The interesting thing about this one is it is. I'll just hold it up to the camera there. It is bottled at 45%.
Yep.
So that's a little sample there, but yeah.
And they actually sell that in little 50 ml bottles too.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that they sell that in the 50 ml bottles to you guys if it's supposed to be that good. You know, a lot of times you can't find that.
Yeah, and that's again the argument I think is that it's not that good.
Right.
I haven't tried it, but we'll try it and we'll see. That's cool that we're doing like two different offerings of two different versions of the Canadian Club anyways for people to hear our thoughts on anyways.
Yeah, the expressions for sure. The color looks great on this black though. I mean, it looks dark. Ooh-wee.
I almost guarantee that's got to be colored. And I wonder if that's
it is. They obviously did that just because it's called Crown Royal Black, but
does it say is it rum cask finished or something? Like what's the black on there for?
Let's see if it says anything on it. Doesn't say, just as robust, full-bodied, and then bottled at 90 proof instead of the normal 80. It does seem to be a little more rich on the nose, though. I don't know. What I don't like is if they can color it, that can mess with my mind a little bit.
Exactly.
You know, it really can. Like if I see a whiskey this color, I'm thinking it's like 60% or more normally.
I know, and that's the tough part. That's kind of tough is they don't really say even on my bottle of Wiser's, like my nicer bottle of Wiser's, the commemorative Canada 2018 edition. It doesn't say on there whether or not it's colored. But someone has chimed in saying that the bourbon cask is, Peter White says it's a bourbon cask for the Crown Royal Black.
Yeah, I just saw that too. Yeah, interesting. I could see that. I mean, it's definitely got a lot more of the vanilla note coming through. I think that's that richness I was describing.
That sounds pretty good. It sounds like better than what I'm kind of experiencing on the Northern Harvest Rye. On the Harvest Rye, you get totally different nose. But again, the astringent quality is back. That kind of astringent quality we're picking up in Canadian Club, that's coming back in kind of full force for the Crown Royal Harvest. So,
so it's not that good, you're saying?
Oh, I haven't tried it yet, but it doesn't smell great
on the nose, though.
But on the nose, no.
This definitely, I could be convinced this is a bourbon. Actually, like that's. When I tried that sip there, it definitely had a lot of that bourbon. I mean, it tastes like a low-proof bourbon, but
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've never had the blender's mash before, so I'd be curious to see how that compares to this.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't even know about Crown Royal Black until you showed me the picture of the sample today. So, okay, I'll give the Northern Harvest a try here.
Yep. Yeah.
The Northern Harvest isn't bad.
Okay.
Tons of dill though. Wow. Did you ever get those like in a fairly high rye bourbon? You get that strong dill sound. Oh, sound. That's my dog. So no, but you get the like really strong dill taste.
Yeah.
almost immediately, like a sweet pickle, basically. It's a little bit of a weird tasting note.
I guess that's what Jim Murray's into. Sweet pickles.
Yes, Eric Wade is asking me, have you ever visited any distilleries in Canada? Yes, Eric, I have. I just put up, actually on my channel, if you go over to my channel, I just put up a local distillery tasting. And then we also did a behind the scenes video similar to what you guys did with the Bourbon Junkies and the Valentine distillery.
Mm-hmm.
We did a similar thing like that, and we chatted with the master distiller, and we've got we kind of did that as well. So I'm still working on the edit for that video, but the other video is released. So the tasting of their product has been released. So, and it's
that's gonna be awesome.
Good. It's really good.
Those are so fun to do. I loved the trip we took. It was just so fun, just especially when you're able to talk to like the master distiller or like the owner like that. It makes all the difference because they have such a passion about it, you know?
Oh, totally. And the place that I visited, it was totally like a family craft operation. So they grew the grains kind of on site, milled everything there, did everything from almost beginning to end. That's why they have like a craft distiller certification. They were doing like everything basically on their own, including like the guy, the master distiller's wife does like handles the marketing side of things. So very, very family operations. Nice. Definitely passionate about the craft for sure.
Eric said he really loves a big pickle in his Canadian whiskey.
And who doesn't?
That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, Richie Z said he's also going to pour some Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye, the only Canadian in his collection.
Man, you know what? The Northern Harvest Rye, it's a strange flavor, but it's good. For some reason, I like it.
Okay.
Price point wise, the regular Crown Royal for a 750 mils of this guy is here is about $28 Canadian. The Northern Harvest Rye is $40. So there's definitely a bit of a drop to the Northern Harvest.
Great expression. It's not a raging endorsement, methinks. Yeah, you're right, Brian. It's okay. I mean, it's not blowing me away by any means, any of this stuff yet. I'm excited. Let's I want to get into some of these samples. You ready to get into some of these samples?
Yeah, for sure. I think the other ones, honestly, we can kind of skip for now.
Yeah, agreed.
I had a Gretzky one, but again, I don't think it's going to be anything to write home about. So I think definitely maybe spend a bit more time kind of. I think there'll be there'll be more analysis too that we can do for the other ones because there's more.
Sure.
So,
which one do you think we should start with?
Definitely the Wisers. What's interesting though is I haven't tried I waited, so I haven't tried the Lot 40 either. So you and I will be trying that for the first time. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm glad because then we can actually see if we actually know what we're talking about or not, you know? All right, I'm going to grab another glass too because I'm going to need one. I'm running out quick here.
Yeah, so what's everybody out there in the live chat? What are you guys drinking tonight? Is anyone besides Richie doing any homage to Canada by drinking any Canadian whiskey out there? Or what do you guys got in the glass tonight?
All right. So I got the JP.
Oh, wow. Eric Waite says he's going to be doing a Canadian whiskey month.
Ooh, very nice, Eric. Eric, I really love your themed months, by the way. I think that's really cool. And I always watch like every morning when you put that out, especially for Bourbon Month. I mean, of course, but I do really like those themed ones. It just gives you an excuse to get more whiskey, Eric. There's really nothing wrong with it.
That's right. And I liked it. I commented on one of Eric's videos because in it he was mentioning he's almost been doing a review a day. That's super impressive because as a whiskey reviewer, as you know how much work goes into a video, it's to be doing almost one a day it's a impressive output. So yeah absolutely. Eric was grinding that whole month, all the time he does. I just saw the video you did with the tribe too, Eric. That was incredible.
You really showed your knowledge off in that, so that was really good. All right, so we are on JP Weiser's 19 years old, 43.4% commemorative series. I'm only going to pour like half of this because I want to save some.
Cool. So this one here. So what I researched on this one was that when they first offered this, it was offered for last year, 2000. So it would have been the 2018. And at that point, it was an 18-year-old whiskey. And so apparently this is the same whiskey, just barreled a year older. So that leads me to believe that the next year's whiskey might be even 1 year older. So you might get a 20-year-old for that one, which would be cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And yeah, I just did a palate cleanse there too, because this one I think deserves a bit of that.
Clear off that alcohol flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's go into the nose here. Definitely more rye punch even on the 43% on this one.
For sure. Yeah, what was it, 43.4?
Yeah.
43.4. It's that's kind of an odd number. And sometimes some of those percentages for JP Weisers are coded. So I know they recently did an alumni series for the NHL, so for Canadian hockey like legends. And one of the guys is Dougie Gilmore, and he's a famous Toronto Maple Leaf. So I noticed some Leafs fans out there who are watching the stream, who are also watching the game. So the area code for Toronto is 416. So the whiskey that's in his name is 41.6%. So I wonder if there's
cool.
I know the master distiller there, Dr. Don Livermore. He likes the Easter eggs. So I wonder if there's an Easter egg there. I'm not sure, but there could be.
Yeah, could be. 434. I'd believe it. I definitely don't get any of the really like the alcohol astringency at all on this.
No. I do get a lot of sweet oak in this one.
Yep, the oak is definitely coming through a lot more.
And then I get the maple for sure, like maple sweetness, kind of some butterscotch and caramels as well.
Yep, butterscotch is exactly what I was about to say.
There's something else underneath that, and I think it is. I'm gonna go to this funny tasting note or smelling note in this case. Kind of like a dusty leather-bound book, almost like an old leather. There's a bit of that there, I think.
I definitely feel like this is very buttery on the nose.
Yes, yeah.
It almost reminds me of like an Irish whiskey a little bit with the butteriness at least. Smells good though.
Yeah,
smells good
for sure.
All right, let's give it a sip.
Yeah, get in that one.
Cheers, guys. Okay, I can get on board with that. Oh wow, the finish has like a lot more of what I would say is that like that leathery book note, or like a little bit of almost like a different spice, like a. What is the note?
Like cloves, maybe? Or
yeah, I was gonna say clove, but it's different than like a typical bourbon clove you would find.
Yeah, it's not as strong. It's sweeter.
No. But I didn't get that on the middle of the palate at all. It was just when it hit the back of the tongue. That's when I got that.
There's a decent medium kind of it is kind of short to medium finish on it, which is I like that better than I remember when we drank the Crown Royal. Was like as soon as it was gone from your mouth, it's almost the flavor was gone. It's like you're not drinking anything, right?
Yeah, completely dissipated. And I can even now I can still taste a little bit of the clove.
Yeah,
but it's not. But the actual the main part of the finish is pretty quick. You're right.
That's good.
Yeah,
I like this one.
It's just buttery. It's just buttery on the tongue. The second you move it to the back of your palate, it's just that clove note. I think it's the age. It tastes like a dusty. Like I think it's partly dusty oak, partly clove, kind of like melded together is what it tastes like. That's good though. That's really good. That's so easy to drink too, man.
almost too easy to drink.
It is. Yeah.
So sometimes when I'm doing like a live stream or something, like before we get filming and I've got some guests over for the channel, I'll just start with this one as like a good like palate activator. It's easy drinking, really easy drinking. Like you said, it almost goes down too smooth.
It does. Yeah, it does. But it's still interesting enough that it gives you something to seek out in the whiskey. It's not just one note,
Yeah, for sure.
Boy, I like that. And I don't think I've ever seen a bottle of JP Weiser like anywhere. No. Not here, at least.
No, and that's really, honestly, that's too bad. I wonder if there are any states that are closer to Ontario, which is where it's made.
Yeah.
That might get it, like just due to proximity. Like I'm thinking like Buffalo or, something.
Maybe it could be way up in the UP in Michigan. Those Upers, I mean, they're right on the border, so you never know. I like this though. This is good stuff. Thank you so much for hooking me up with these. I really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. Who was it who said, where was it? Oh, here we go. Peter White, just pick up a Whistle Pig 10 or store pick if you want good Alberta rye. Absolutely. That's an interesting one. So they actually say right on the branding of Whistle Pig, rescued from a Canadian distillery.
Yeah, right.
Kind of a good job, but that's sourced whiskey. So apparently they got that. They have now started, from what I understand, they have now started to create, and they'll be bottling their own spirit, but the majority of what they have out there is Alberta rye. So
yeah, and I know a lot of micro distilleries even they do source their stuff from Alberta too. So I mean that's a common place to use rye from. Loch Ness, have a good night. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. And somebody said, who was it? Where is it? Oh, DJ Beacon. No Daryl Sittler whiskey. Interesting. So the JP Weiser's Alumni Series, they will be having a Daryl Sittler. So that's one of the bottles they release now are Guy Lafleur. Guy Lafleur, Danny or Lanny McDonald with the stash, and Dougie Gilmore. And then one of the other three, I can't remember the other two, but one of the other three is Daryl Sittler. So there you go. So that's coming. It's on the way.
Yeah, I like that one. I do like that one. I mean, 19 years, it does not taste 19 years still. I mean, and maybe Canadian whiskey is different, but like a bourbon that's 19 years, it's just gonna be an oak explosion.
Right. I think that's the big difference is that most of the bourbon distilleries are down south.
Yep.
So the climate, when they go through the bourbon seasons, there's a lot of the whiskey moving in and out of the cask.
Absolutely.
Fluctuations in weather, right?
Absolutely.
There are fairly extreme compared, like where I am in BC, super mild weather-wise compared to Ontario. It's way more extreme. It'd be closer to something like Kentucky or Texas, maybe, but I think it's less so though, for sure. I guess, and you know what? I'm not really 100% sure about. Oh, sorry, I'm keep getting the one wrong. Peter White, you're right. It's Wendell Clark, not Dougie Gilmore. I keep saying that, but you're right. It's in the Alumni Series. Sorry, I'm kind of getting distracted, but it's in the Alumni Series. It is Wendell Clark. You're absolutely right. I think the seasons it's still less so than it would be in the States, like a bourbon.
Which makes sense. I mean, climate plays such a big. I mean, it's such a big role in whiskey. It really is. So, yeah, I believe it. 19 years could be like 6 or 7, depending on climate. So,
sure. My wife's trying to sneak around here, so she's not seen on camera, but she doesn't.
She's not that sneaky. We could still see her. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You okay? Yeah, they can see you. Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's funny. Yeah.
All right, buddy. I think I'm ready to go into the man of the hour here.
It's time?
Yeah, it's time.
And this will be my first, even though the bottle is down, I broke off half this bottle for my brother for his birthday. So
nice.
But I haven't had any of this. I haven't tried it. So this is the one. Did you ever watch Aquavite, his channel?
Yeah. Yeah.
When he tries this, he's speechless. So for Roy to be speechless over something, hopefully I think we're in for something special. It's a pretty cool looking bottle. Let's hold
it is, yeah. And I see the normal lot 40 everywhere. Like I can get that anytime, but the cast strength never.
No, I think that people, honestly, that I've seen it for channels that like for Jason from Mash and Drum, he must have had somebody must have sent that to him.
Yeah. He's got some good friends, Jason does. I mean, he got 4 Roses Small Batch Select today.
Yeah, no kidding. I noticed that he reviewed it, and it's just on the shelves. I heard like today or yesterday.
I was seeing some posts on Instagram like maybe 3 or 4 days ago, so it must have hit a couple days ago. But it's still limited distribution, only in a couple states. So,
right, crazy. Gonna pour a little dram of this stuff. Ooh, that's thick. That feels. It looks oily.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I'm gonna do a palate cleanse too.
Woo! Whoa, okay, there it is. There's the rye.
That's different. Hey, different than everything else we've tried so far tonight.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I like that.
Ooh, it smells really, really good. It smells. I'm getting all sorts of sweetness on there. Vanilla. Lots and lots of vanilla.
Cinnamon for sure.
Yeah, the cinnamon's there.
I was gonna say the same clove note in here too, but this is just completely amplified. Like it's on a different level.
Yeah, I would say there's also I'm picking up some like black pepper maybe or cayenne pepper even.
There's absolutely black pepper.
Definite spice there for sure.
Yep. The dill is also in this too. Maybe not to the extent of the one you tried, but
oh no, it's there though. Now that you mention it, it's like the sweet Eric White's favorite, the big sweet dill pickle in his Canadian Whisky.
That's right.
Here we go. Yeah, Richie Z says lot 40 cast strength. Yeah, here it is. You will not. The thing is, you will not. I couldn't believe that when I found this on the shelf. Still, that's when I bought it because I knew that it would be a matter of days or weeks at the absolute most, a couple weeks, that it would be completely sold out. There are not too many bottles of this sold even. I think, if I can remember, it's about 4,000, 4,500 maybe.
So even around where you live, then it's completely limited distribution with that.
Yes and no. Like most of our BC liquor stores, which is our province-run liquor stores, they're going to have it. But now you won't find it anywhere. Like once those 4,500 bottles are sold, that's it. They're done. They're gone.
Right.
You might find it in some dusty corner of a mom and pop shop, but it's not likely.
Right. Richie Z, thank you so much. Yeah. If you guys have not already subscribed to Jeff, Whisky Explorer, go over to his channel right now and subscribe. He is so knowledgeable about whiskey. If you just watch one of his reviews, he goes in depth about stuff, which is great. You know, some people like me, I don't go in depth really about the background. I go more just right into the tasting and nosing notes. Jeff is great about going into details, and I really like that about his channel.
Oh, thanks so much for saying for the comments, Chris. And yeah, I'd love to have you guys come over and check things out. And I just love Chris and I were talking about this earlier a little bit, kind of informally over Messenger, but the whiskey community that is kind of I don't know, because I think it's just because I recently started drinking whiskey, like maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But whiskey community that surrounds these channels is absolutely phenomenal. Like I just think we have one of the best, if not the best, communities going. Like it's really, I think it's awesome. And 99.9% of all the interactions are all positive, and people are just kind of here to share their experience, and it's a cool journey to be on. So I'd be happy to have you guys over there.
I could not agree more. Jimmy Daniels asked, "Where's the Caribou Crossing?" That's a good question, because that bottle I actually can get.
Yes.
Honestly, I've heard bad things about it. I'm like, oh, it's very average. Like, don't even bother. That's what I've heard, honestly.
So I've heard mixed. I've heard a little bit of that, but I've also heard that it's quite good. And I've heard it compared to the Canadian Blantons, or referred to as the Canadian Blantons. which then you go and if you read some reviews or some people talking about it, they're like, no, don't compare it to Blanton's. It's not even in the same league. So
well, they both have the same type of stopper, so maybe that's why they're saying that.
And it's also the Caribou Crossing is a Sazerac product.
Okay. Yep.
And Sazerac owns Buffalo Trace too, right? So I think
that's the parent company. Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense. It looks like the Caribou is basically like the horse of the Blantons. What was I gonna say?
Well, now I want to try it just to see how it compares.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is here it's $100 a bottle.
Ooh-wee.
Which is really pretty salty. And I was like, well, okay, that's okay if it's cask strength, but it's nowhere close. It's 40%.
No.
And so I'm like, that's almost a to me, that's almost a game killer. Like that, or not a game killer. That's almost like a purchase killer. $100, first of all, is almost a deal breaker right there. But
yeah, there's not that many whiskeys out there that are truly worth $100. Honestly, there's really not. Moose 76 said I need to start expanding the whiskey counter. Yeah, you're right. The counter is completely packed. I got to start. So I'm planning to move the whole setup to the like guest bedroom eventually down the road. But that's going to be a while. I want to build some shelves in there, so that would be really cool. So one major note, we should get into the tasting in this cask strength too, but one major note I'm getting out of this is spearmint for sure. So it's starting to dissipate now more, but for about 5 minutes straight there when I was smelling it, it was spearmint, like very heavy on the nose.
I think I don't pick it up in the nose too much. I get a little bit of it. The black licorice, a little bit there.
Black licorice, a
little bit on the kind of the
which tail is interesting because I'm not a black licorice fan at all. But I guess if it's in whiskey, I'm okay with it. Yeah,
I think what it is, and I'm the same way. That stuff like makes me gag. I just can't stand it at all. But in whiskey, I think it's because it's married with some other interesting flavors that are complementary to it that it's okay. Like it's because sometimes it's married so well that you don't even really pick it up. It's almost an afterthought.
Absolutely.
But it's definitely in there.
All right. I can't wait any longer. Let's go ahead and give this a sip. Your first time, my first time. Here we go, buddy. Cheers. Ooh. Ooh. That has a whole nice layer of sweetness on it. What do you think?
Tons of dill. It reminds me of the Northern Harvest, but it's what I do like about it is there's a spicy punch. Now it's just finishing. The finish is crazy long on this.
Going for sure.
It's which I like. So especially I really feel like not to be too demanding, but if I'm buying a cask strength whiskey here in Canada, where we are, you're not going to get your hands on anything that's cask strength for under $100 Canadian.
Right.
It's $100. So if you're spending that kind of money, you kind of want that finish to linger forever. Like I want to like sit there and contemplate this for a good 20 minutes, half an hour. So it's nice to have the long finish.
Right. And that dill note, you're absolutely right. That's definitely like present for sure. Big time on the palate. Not as much on the nose though as it's much more on the palate.
The nose, now that I'm going back to the nose again, is reminding me of the Wisers.
Yeah, it's definitely got that buttery note for sure. I mean, even though the punch is there from the proof, it's still like very, very buttery smooth.
There was something interesting happened there on the second set. I've never experienced that before. It was like, I think it's because it's cask strength and we're bottled at, I think it's 58.4%. There was like when I sipped it and then I closed my mouth, like there was this like, it's this weird experience. It was like a kind of a sucking like alcohol experience that happened. It was like this kind of sucking in of like it must have been the vapors or something like that, but it like fully filled in my mouth. It was really interesting. It's actually pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta say, I feel like this is evolving just in the glass, honestly. Like the flavors are completely changing.
Yeah, opening up a little bit, eh?
It is, and that's, you know, with cast strength that needs that sometimes, you know.
It's good though. It's a really interesting, almost challenging dram. There's tons going on here. There's like, so just to give you guys a few more notes. So on the back end, I get like the cayenne pepper, white pepper, cinnamon, spice, nutmeg for sure. The clove is there.
Yep.
There's an overall vanilla sweetness going on, and that buttery feel is. So this is mouth coating. This is more like, or it's not necessarily fully mouth coating like some of the whiskeys I've had, but it is way more mouth coating than anything we've had tonight. And that has to, I think that speaks to the body of the whiskey. Like it's present, like it lets you know it's there. It's, but I like that. I like the punch. Like I like cast strength bourbons. I like them a lot actually. And I always find there's more depth to explore when there's something like that. You know, there's room for it to open up and grow and change, and you can add a bit of water if you want, but I do find the cast strengths, or that's what I love about bourbons is if you don't want to, if you can't justify spending an arm and a leg on a barrel proof or a batch strength or cast strength, you've got the bottle and bonds in the bourbon world, which are generally going to be a good, you know, $20 less, but it still gives you a similar experience.
Agreed. Yeah.
So
I always have said, I feel like whiskey drinkers, we start out with just kind of the basic, maybe 80, 90 proof. And then eventually most of us, at least once we get into higher proof cast strength things, we kind of tend to lean more towards that because it's just like you said, it's just completely, the flavors of the whiskey are generally just completely amplified. I mean, the finish is better. The coating on the mouth is usually better. It's just, it gives you a lot more notes you can pick out in the whiskey, I feel like.
Yeah. This was to me, this is a really smart bottling for Lot 40 because I've had the Lot 40, the regular, and I didn't like it. Really? I do really like this. So I just feel like there's more, this pushes the envelope, and it's to me, and you'll hear people talk about this actually, this is a far superior whiskey to the regular Lot 40 bottling.
Yeah, and I've almost bought the regular Lot 40 like many times because so many people talk such good things about the Lot 40 cast strength, and I was like, you know, if it's that good, the Lot 40 is probably pretty good too.
But so for most people, I think it is. I think I'm just not a huge rye person. Like I just don't think I'm that big a rye guy. But I will say though, the regular Lot 40 is still complex. Lots going on. Lots to find in the so. Yeah,
good. That's good info.
Yeah, and here it's how much would it be? Have you seen it recently, like on the shelf, that you'd remember a price on it, Chris?
The regular Lot 40. I think it's around. I'm pretty sure it's around $50.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's
no.
I can't remember 100%, but it's been a couple months. But I think it was probably around that price point.
So it is about 36 Canadian here.
Okay, which is wow,
that's pretty annoying.
Yeah. Eric Waite asked, so why don't more Canadian distilleries make whiskey like Lot 40 cast strength? Seems a unicorn rather than the normal Canadian whiskey. And I was going to ask you that too. So, I mean, for a lot of people, they prefer the cast strength expressions. That's why there's so many of them in the bourbon world, and Scotch is starting to go up in higher proof for a lot of expressions too. So any good answer to that?
Well, no. I wish I had a good answer for that. I was going to say yes, but I definitely don't. I know that JP Weisers is only going to be pushing harder. So they're the guys, Don Livermore, the master distiller at Lot 40. The good thing is he's young. So he's probably, I really don't know, but I'm guessing 40 years old.
Aggressive maybe. Yeah.
He studied under their ex-master distiller who retired, And he actually has the reason that they have a J.P. Weiser's dissertation is because he has a doctorate in distilling, I guess, or whatever it is.
Wow.
And so that's why he called it his dissertation, because the bottle is actually his part of his dissertation.
That's really cool. That's a really cool story.
He studied over like something insane, like over 60 or 70 different cask types, and had all these experiments going on, and studied it all, and determined that that was like the sweet spot was that dissertation bottle, and that's just. But I know that he's pushing further because the response in the market has been overwhelmingly good. So
for sure.
So there, I can't see it going, like I can only see it going like in a positive direction from here.
Good.
So that I can only see there being more of these better, more challenging whiskeys. I would like to see more cask strength or higher proof offerings out there. I have a bad feeling that is only going to be a once in a while, once a year. This one is a once a year release. So
and I see a couple people in chat, Steve A and Moose76 saying it's about $40 in the States. So I was about $10 off.
40 is not terrible. And the overall note I get though from the lot 40 is that sweet dill. It's like, it's huge in there. Like that's to me, and I get that like all day. But but it's like beginning mid palate, and then the end is the rye spices coming into play, I find.
That's definitely really good though. That's definitely really good.
Oh, and to answer the previous question, Richie Z, yes, if you come to BC to visit, you can definitely bring back these bottles or similar. Or if you come anywhere near my area, we'll meet up and hook you up with some stuff. So there you go.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This was an awesome time. I'm really glad you were able to finally do this. We've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's been great, and we'll have to think of some other topics we can do for other collaborations down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. I'm always happy to have anyone on or go on anyone's channel. It's just fun drinking and talking together. So yeah, absolutely. And thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Oh, even that glass smells good now that it's gone.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, I love smelling the glass after the whiskey's gone. That's the best smell. Thank you all though tonight so much for coming out and watching. I really appreciate you guys hanging out on Canadian Whiskey Night. I learned a lot of stuff. I literally knew zero about Canadian whiskey. So I'm really glad I was able to get educated a little bit on this. And I had a great time. And there's a lot of stuff I'll be looking for now. If I can find it is the problem. So we'll see. But
yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that there's no Wiser selections there. I thought that would be I thought that at least they're 15, like maybe the regular offering than the 15-year. Like the 35 is a little premium. The 35 is expensive too. The 35-year is $210 or $220 Canadian here.
Ooh-wee.
It's salty. But the thing is like and it is a Canadian whiskey, I get that. But if you were looking at a 35-year-old Scotch, so for example, the other world, forget about it. I mean, that's a couple $1,000 all day long, maybe more, probably more.
Yeah, absolutely.
On who the distillery is. But I have heard nothing but amazing things about the J.P. Weiser's 35-year. It's just I just have not been able to pull the trigger at $220. It's like we have the taxes here too, and it's like. I think is it 10%? It's 10%, I think, for the liquor tax. Yeah, it is. It's 10%. So then add another 10% on that. So you're out the door at $250, and it's like, how many bottles of really great whiskey or Scotch or bourbon can you get for that? That's the kind of math I heard to do, and it's just it doesn't quite weigh it out.
No, and who knows? Maybe it's out there, and I don't normally look for Canadian whiskey when I'm at the store though. So and maybe it's out there. It's possible.
Yeah,
I'll be looking now a little more. I'll tell you that for sure.
Well, if you do find it, it'll be the telltale is the square bottle. All J.P. Weiser's are like that perfect kind of rectangular prism style shape right there.
Yep. I'm sure I'll be shooting you a message if I see one. I'll be like, should I get this or not?
Yeah, definitely do. Let me know, because I've tried definitely a decent amount of them. So
right. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Immediately following the stream, I am having a patron only after chat. We're going to be hanging out a little while in there. So anybody, you can go over to the patron page. It's patreon.com/Bourbinsane. Check it out. If you feel like joining, please do. Jeff, you want to go ahead and plug your channel one more time? Do you have a patron as well?
Oh yeah. So if you guys head over to, like, if you just the Whisky Explorer on YouTube, and it's whiskey with a Y since it's Canada, so it's Canadian Whisky. So we follow suit with the Scottish whiskies. So the Whisky Explorer on YouTube. There is a Patreon link on the channel there if you guys want to check that out. Just recently added some new rewards. Most of the rewards are just like coasters. I may, depending on how the channel goes, I may get some coins, but I don't kind of want to do that until I'm confident that I can sell most of them. Yeah, so that right. All I want to do is just cover the cost, really, to be honest. So yeah, and you got your Bourbinsane coins, and I got to get one of those still. So
yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because I forgot to show. I just got these challenge coins, guys. I love these things. My camera will not focus to save its life, though. It's awful. I love these things, though. I just got these. So if anybody wants these, go ahead and just shoot me an email or a message on Instagram. I'll take care of you.
Perfect. And I'll be
they're awesome. These things are, I mean, high quality stuff. So a couple, all the other channels have them too. A lot of other channels. So I love these things already.
It kind of feels like you're not part of the club yet until you have a coin, hey?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the problem, but.
Yeah, no, they're super cool. Those look, and those turned out great. What I love about yours is that looks like a real poker chip to me. So when I see that, I'm like, oh, it's like.
It literally is. It's literally a real poker chip. It's just,
yeah, that's.
I mean, it has to fit over the whiskey glass. That's like the size you have to get.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's super cool. And you got the glassware too, and the t-shirts now. So you're getting your branding out, which is awesome. That's all. I don't know. I think it's all part of the fun. So.
Exactly, it is. It's not like, I mean, at this moment, I'm not like making money on it anyway, really. So it's just like it's just spreading the word and sharing whiskey. Yeah. That's what it's all about. So
absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. Had a great night tonight. I appreciate you all being here. Happy Friday. I'll be having a video out tomorrow, I'm thinking. So the one I'm planning to put out tomorrow is actually an older review I first filmed when I started the channel. So it's I was a little bit nervous in the review, I'll say, compared to now. So it'll be an interesting video. I did some extra editing on it, so we'll see if it looks better. But I appreciate y'all coming. Jeff, thank you so much for coming tonight too.
Oh, thank you very much for having me, man. It's been an awesome stream, and I can't wait to do it again soon. And thanks everyone for watching.
Absolutely, guys. Have a great night. We'll see ya.